Here's Masilla. Big Ben strikes.
Jack Walker skins the Leeds Centurions cover. Oh, Walker's burst through again. He's got Myler in support. Crooks ahead of him. Myler takes the pass.
Yeah, we're having a tough run, both with injuries and some confidence. I thought our game against Huddersfield was incredibly frustrating last week, but at the same time really courageous. And you know, I've been involved with the team here that in similar situations with as many bodies down and continuing to incur injuries through the game, that the game would get away from us, and it didn't. You know, we showed some steel there. So you know, it's a tough situation at the moment. We just got to bite down, hold your nerve, keep hold, and you know, it will come good. Bizarrely, a lot of what we're doing is okay. There's too much stuff not right. I get that as well, but that there's no rocket science in that. That's to do with people missing and people filling in other roles, and the amount of times I've been able to name the first 10 players in my team, never mind 13, who are consistently in the same position week in, week out. I don't think I've done it all year. So we're up for a challenge tomorrow night against Saints. We're all looking forward to it. We get to a stage every week where we know we can beat the opposition, and that's never straight after the game. When we got beat by Huddersfield, a process starts then where you bring them in on Saturday morning, you go through some sort of review, you go through further review over the weekend on a Monday or Tuesday, and it's just a gradual process where you start building it and piecing it back together. And so you get to a stage the day before where you think, yeah, we're going to beat Saints, and we genuinely believe we're going to beat Saints. We also know it's going to be a task. We also know they're in great form and got very little injuries. And if we do beat Saints, we'll have to come up with something special. We understand that, but we know we can beat Saints, and there's a process to go through that every week. And while we go through that process, you've got to keep positive. You've got to keep focusing on the things that are working for us and things that we're doing well. But I think a few things need to happen. I think we need to have a great kicking game. Certainly our try line D. I think they're pretty potent Saints all over the field, but attacking your try line, then on, they come up with something. So I think there's just a few facets of the game which we need to be good at. I don't think anything needs to be special or fantastic, or for us to beat Saints, a lot of those facets need to fall in place, and there's a challenge. And that's why, you know, when you've got some young fellas playing in the team and some blokes who have got less than 20 or 30 games experience, those simple facets are a challenge for them. You know, if you have enough of those in your team, then it becomes a challenge on itself, you know, to perform. So therein lies the word experience, and we've got a few blokes who are gaining more experience, and it's great that they are, but at times it can cost you. But I think they're just across the board. They've probably scored an 8 and 9 out of 10 in most categories: kick, chase, goal line D, yardage attack, good ball attack. And I don't think you look at Saints and go, wow, look at what they're doing there beyond everybody else. But it's hard to find an error in what they're doing. It's hard to find a real poor moment in what they're doing. And then on top of that, throw in a splash of some brilliance, you know, with a Roby, Wilkins in great form, their Pack's in great form, and Ben Barber. Then you've got a team that's, you know, genuine contenders. There's still some doubts. We just had a team run there, our final run of the week, and there's still some doubts over some players. This is the crazy situation which we're in, which we sometimes find ourselves in. We don't often want to find ourselves in it, but we sometimes find ourselves in where we can't confirm a team until 90 minutes before kick-off. So Ash Golding is going to have a late fitness check on an ankle that he rolled through the week, and Jordan Lilly, who's got a foot problem, which, you know, we're going to have to, which he's had for a couple of years. Jordan, that inflamed last week. We're going to find out whether he's fit 90 minutes before kick-off. So we've got a group of blokes there who have trained, who know what they're doing, know what they want to do, and are really keen. We can't confirm that full 17 until tomorrow night. For Harry Newman, he gets a chance of playing. He has a chance of starting tomorrow, or at least coming off the bench. So it's exciting times for him, and he's well deserved. And his time at Featherstone has been good. Been playing centre at Featherstone, been turning it up in some games. Now, should we have been better? Could we have been better? Yeah, but you know, my reaction has got to be accurate, you know, to wins and losses, and we cover off what we need to cover off, and at the same time I'm keeping it real as well. I'm keeping the blokes alive. I'm not crushing them. I'm not telling them that they're miles off, because I know they're not. Give me a more regular 13 and a more regular 17, and we'll start scaring other teams. Yeah, Richie is going through his protocol return to play because he got knocked out against Castleford, I think it was, Magic Weekend. He's had 2 concussions in a short space of time, so he's got to go through a bit more of a rigorous test. Mikolai, who I've got to be careful to use some in-house humour. He was in a bad way, wasn't he, on the field? But he's come out of it and got some damage to his neck and his shoulders, and it's been stiff. And I think the precautions that the medical people took on the field was absolutely the right thing. But he's come out of it okay. He's good, and was all right Saturday afternoon. But they kept him in for a while, and I don't think he'll be right for Catalans on Wednesday. But we're going to push for both Richie and Mick to be right. But we're not going to find out whether they can run and they're pain free, and certainly with Richie we're not going to find out whether he's available until he's finished his return to play protocol.
And you'll be missing Ryan Hall, of course. He'll be away with the England team in America. Having been involved in American Rugby League, how big could this game be for the sport over in the States?
Yeah, for sure. I think to take a flagship game and let him see it, it's absolutely. You know, we've just been talking about the dynamics of the game there and some of the infrastructure of the game. You know, a strong product played at the top end, which only ever caters for, you know, the best of the best. That's what the internationals is about, isn't it? The best of the best. And for our game to be over in America, you know, to show our wares is great.
Presumably, because of the injuries you've got, you're not able to pick and choose short turnaround for that Wednesday game, so a rare midweek game. We don't have that many of them these days. Have you had to have one eye on that, or are you just not afforded that luxury?
We've got one eye on it, but in terms of rolling blokes about and rotating fellas, I haven't had that luxury all year. I didn't even have that luxury over Easter. So, you know, it will be a case of strapping each other up and going again. It's not quite an Easter. We've got a couple more days extra than Easter, but it's still a very short turnaround. I've often said in this room here, when we play on a Friday, not many train on Monday. They all do something. They all do something physically, but there's not many go out on the field and run. Certainly don't run into each other on Monday. And it used to be, you know, I remember being here as an assistant coach, and we used to train on a Monday, and there used to be a massive beat-up session on a Monday after a Friday game. And I think maybe that's to do with just the speed of the game and some of the combat and some of that wrestling that goes on the field nowadays. You know, blokes' bodies are twisted and hurting and bruised more than ever. So if we can't train Monday yet, we've got to play Wednesday. It's going to be a tough ask.
Here's Murdo Masilla. Big Ben strikes.
Jack Walker skins the Leeds Centurions cover. Oh, Walker's burst through again. He's got Myler in support. Crooks ahead of him. Myler takes the pass.